Thanks to the support as a channel member, Brian Glick. Boys and girls, when creating YouTube videos, you really try and plan stuff out so that you show the best bits, the exciting bits in the videos. It's not realistic to record every moment of the save and then pick out the best bits. If that's the kind of thing you want, you should watch me streaming over on Twitch and then the highlights packages that editor Chris puts together on LOLLUJO too. So I guess it is possible to do that. It's not possible to do that here. And that means sometimes I misjudge a situation and get it wrong. This is one of those situations because we've already qualified for the Champions League because of freak results in the third to last game of the season. I haven't clicked continue since it happened. It took me by surprise after the match when I realised we'd done it. Kev maths, not my strong point as usual, but I don't yet know about budgets, anything like that. So we are going to go in and play the final 2 games of the season. We're going to hopefully get a Champions League style budget and be able to sign Omar. And yeah, we're kind of picking things up at the moment of Champions League qualification because, like I say, didn't think it was going to happen in the match that it happened. Bad Kev. Hello and welcome to part 55 of the Tour de France. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have those final 2 games of this season. We're at home against Lorient. I assume that's who it is. And away against Metz. Since you were last with me, yeah, we qualified for the Champions League. If we show you what happened on the day that it happened, as you can see, it's 5:15 on this match day. We went into this. I mean, we won 4-1. We were only, I think we were only 3 points. Is there a way to go back and see the previous week's league table? I don't think there is there? I know if you click on here, can you go back a week and actually see the table? No, that would be too cool. That's a feature I'd like in FM23. People always ask me, I'd like that feature, please. Historical league tables. That won't make save files too big. But yeah, it's specifically the Lyon result. No, it can't be the Lyon result. Lyon won 1-0. Who was in 5th place and lost? We're going to have to click on everybody and work out who's bottled this. Right, Lyon charged upwards. Marseille stayed where they were. Is it Lille who bottled it? It must be Lille. Lille lost 4-2 to Rennes, who are down here. That's the result that has thrown a spanner in the works. I think, yeah, Lille were on 55 points. We were on 59. So yeah, with a 4-point gap, it could have happened. Didn't think it would happen. Bottom line, I'm very happy. We have qualified for the Champions League. I didn't get to show you it happening, but this is the run of results that we went on to achieve that. The only defeat in this little run was against Paris Saint Germain, as you would expect. But we've won the majority of our other games. As you can see, Cyril Fowry back from his injury and back in absolutely sensational form again. This guy is really good at football. Wanted by Monaco and Schalke. Depending on what kind of budget we're about to see, it will really dictate whether or not we are able to keep him or whether we have to sell him. Because what we really, really need is to be able to sign Afkir Omar permanently. We've already got Millet signed permanently. If we can get Omar as well, firstly, it puts another nail into the coffin of Lyon, who genuinely might not qualify for the Champions League. Now, they're 4 points behind Marseille with 2 games to go. So it might actually be an upgrade for Omar to come and sign for us and play in the Champions League. But also it gets us what is likely to be the league's top scorer, one of the best young players in Europe. A, we need the money. B, we need to convince him to sign for us. So we're kind of hoping for 2 things here. But we've got our budgets up there, which we're about to find out what they are. Tor have, oh, look at it. And now we want like a £30 million budget. I doubt we're going to get one, but wouldn't it be lovely if we did? That's a budget of 0. Yeah, I think there's been some kind of mistake. We just qualified for the Champions League. Yeah, no, yeah, I'm happy with it too. Yeah, we qualified for the Champions League, but we've not been given a transfer budget. I assume that's just an admin error on this email, right? Hello? Nobody there. What the hell? I mean, what the actual hell have I just seen on this screen? Well, I'll level with you. Didn't think that was going to be how today's episode went. So you got a little bit of a surprise. Hey, look, Millet's great. He scored a couple of goals in that previous game. PSG have been crowned champions. What on earth? How are they giving us a zero budget to get into the Champions League? I mean, I know we're a little bit overdrawn, but we're going to be in the Champions League. If we want to stay there and keep the Champions League money flowing in every year, we really need to invest a little bit. I guess this now puts us in the situation where to stand any chance at all, if we look at who we've got in the squad, wow, Juventus are looking at Prevo. That could be an interesting one. We really don't want to sell him. Matt Seamer's wanted by Brighton. Fowry, of course, we've already looked at Monaco and Schalke. Big Willie is wanted by Brighton. This is where we're in a bit of a complicated situation because I think to have any chance next season, we must sign Afkir Omar permanently. Before the end of his loan, we can bring him in for £5.5 million. It's well below what his actual value is. Doing it on instalments isn't an option because you can't do optional future fees on instalments. So the only way we get him for £5.5 million is if we pay it all up front. It means we need £5.5 million. We only have 30% retained transfer revenue. So what we need, and I don't even know if this is the best for the long term because Fowry might end up the better of the two long term. Who knows? I guess Omar just won the Next Gen award, but Fowry's an actual wonder kid and Omar isn't. So this might even be, maybe we just have to give up on Omar and go with Millet because he has been great when he's had the opportunity to play as a striker, which isn't very often, but we played him as a striker in the last game. He got 2 goals and an assist. I think he will be good enough for Ligue 1 most of the time. Probably not good enough for the Champions League, but then will Omar be good enough for the Champions League? There's no way of us knowing. Our 3 best players, Millet, Omar, Fowry. Nguema really falling down the list. Newcastle actually are willing to loan him to us again next season, but we have to pay a lot of his. Oh my word, we can actually do it. It's a big ask. I wonder, do we tie Omar down? I think we do. I think we tie Omar down and worry about everything else in a minute. So if we can get Omar on loan, not Omar, Nguema, if we can get Nguema on loan for another year, I think that's big because that allows us to then go over front 3 of Nguema, Millet, and potentially the young lad whose name I always forget, who's out on loan. What's his name? The 16-year-old who's going to be great. What is his name? I can't find him. I know he's around somewhere. We'll find him in the next episode, probably. So do we do that? Or what I was leaning towards is we sell Fowry to Schalke or Monaco, ideally Schalke, on the same basis that we sold Nguema with a loan back. If we sell him for like 20 million, that would then 30% of that is then enough to buy Omar as well. If we can loan back Fowry, not that we necessarily even need him because we played 4 months of this season without him and still qualified for the Champions League. So I guess he is more replaceable than Omar is. So we sell Fowry for 20 million, reinvest all of that money straight into Omar, but then we're reliant on Omar actually agreeing terms with us. So I guess the starting point here is we make the offer and see if he's willing to discuss terms. If he's still not, see, now he is. I imagine because of the Nguema offer, we can't actually offer him what he wants. Yeah. Oh, dear. We walk away for now. It's only May. We're going to have another opportunity to go in for him. So do we then not go for Nguema and prioritise Omar? But in order to get Omar, we have to sell Fowry. So we could find ourselves in a situation where if we time this wrong, if we do it wrong, we could end up losing all 3 of them, Fowry, Nguema and Omar. And That's not ideal. I'm gambling to try and get all three of them for next season for our Champions League push. If we do it wrong, we might end up with none of them. This is stressful. Let's go play some football matches, and you lot can discuss in the comments section what you would do in this situation. Right, let's go and play Lorient then. I'm looking through the wanted players again and wondering if there's maybe a way to finance Omar without selling Fowry. I'm wondering if Big Willie... I mean, Big Willie, if we could get 20 million for him... The problem is we have been better this season largely because of the partnership he's formed with Matt Seamer at the back. The two of them are great. And he's quite hard to replace as well. What's harder to replace? The 30-goal-a-season striker, the wonder kid best player at the club who's quite injury-prone, or the defender who's formed a partnership that's led us to the Champions League? Everything points towards letting Fowry go. Don't need to worry about it for now. We're going with Prevo in goal. Back for Vita, Matsima, Big Willie and Frey. Thomas, Vaquero and Fowry are the midfield. And then Millet and Nguema supporting Omar up front. Let's see how everybody plays today. Because the thing that makes me want Fowry is because Fowry on his day is obviously the best player in the team. And he's going to be a French international. If he can avoid the injury problems, I don't see how Fowry doesn't play 50 games for France. He is just on another level to everybody else in this team. Look at that for a pass. It's ridiculous. Nobody should be able to pass a football like that. But the way he bursts out of midfield as well, and we're potentially still not even playing him in his best position, his preferred position. He still thinks he's a winger. I mean, look at him. He's involved in absolutely everything in that move. He starts the move. He's there in the middle of the move. But he's never played more than like 20 games in a season because of injury. Oh, I don't know what to do. How can the board not given me any money? I know I've already committed £3 million to signing Millet permanently. I kind of did that on the basis that I assumed if we qualified for the Champions League, we'd get some kind of budget that we could go get Omar as well. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have gone for Millet. I would have saved the money, looked to sell someone for 3 or 4 million this summer, and then gone for Omar, and we would have sacrificed Millet. But we've now taken that option off the table by trying to act early and get Millet tied down. Oh, have I made a mistake? I don't think I have. I think the board are making a mistake here. Nguema and Vaquero combining nicely there. There's a question mark over whether Nguema, I think, is offside as part of this. We're just going to check in with the referee to see what he thinks about the situation. And it's been given. Excellent stuff. So this is, I see the other thing that Fowry has in his favour over Omar and Big Willie is he's one of our boys. And seeing Nguema and Vaquero combine for the goal there, I love having our homegrown youth players in this team. The fact we've got Fowry, Vaquero and Nguema, who all came through our youth system, all key parts of the team. Yes, Vaquero and Nguema both left, but they both came back on loan. Vaquero's now back permanently. Fowry might be the one that if he leaves, we're never able to afford to bring him back permanently because of how good he's going to be. And there's Big Willie and Matt Seamer making the argument for why they need to stay together next season as our centre-back partnership because they're so much better than everybody else as well. I mean, I had this dream that when we got to the Champions League, we'd be able to bring Stephen Boyd back and have him involved in our defence as well. But he's now playing for, I think he went to Southampton in a £20 million move. So the chances of us getting him are very remote at this point. And that's kind of the problem that we're going to have with someone like Fowry. It's no longer a case of like it is with Vaquero, they go away and we can bring him back for 2 million. Or I imagine Nguema we can probably bring back for 10 million next summer. It seems that Newcastle are becoming less and less interested in him. And the fact that he's now only like our 10th best player and we're tour suggests he's probably never going to be a Premier League superstar. So either we're going to do what we're going to do with Nguema, what we've done with the likes of David Carter in the past, where we loan them back a lot and then eventually outgrow them. That could be the route Nguema's on. Or we can bring him back for what will be a relatively okay fee when the time comes. But Fowry, I just don't see it happening. At least we're winning this football match. Is there prize money for finishing in the top 4? Is there any chance we're going to get any money in soon so we can then ask for some transfer budget? I don't think we're likely to get any of the Champions League money before the 1st of July when Omar's loan ends. So I suspect I know the answer. We're not gonna magically get some budget in time to be able to buy him. Oh, I have never in all my years playing Football Manager, and let me know down in the comments section if you have experienced this before, but in all my years playing Football Manager, I don't think I've ever been on a road to glory where I've taken a team to the Champions League and been rewarded with a 0 transfer budget. I know the game can be a little bit hit and miss when it comes to taking into account future income and stuff, but we know how much money is attached to qualifying for the Champions League. It's worth, even if we finish bottom of our group and don't even get into the Europa League, it must be worth 25 million getting into the Champions League, surely. Let us spend 5 million of it. This is what we've talked before about board interactions in this game, in this series. When we had I think it was the Vaquero sale that particularly upset me because we weren't able to discuss with the board about why it was dumb. This is where I need to be able to go to the board and say, look, come on, you've got all this money about to come in. We need to model future income properly. We're a Champions League club now. There's going to be all this Champions League money coming in. It's also going to increase stuff like merchandising, advertising, match day revenue, all that kind of stuff. Income is going to be up hugely. Can we have £5 million to sign the best young striker in Europe, who is currently on loan with us, wants to sign for us, and he's probably going to finish as top scorer in the league at 20 years old? There is no scenario where the board say no to that. So upsetting. And now we're not even going to beat Leyton Orient. Devastating. And there's going to be someone in the comments who's there going, Kev, I think you'll find it's not Leyton Orient. It's a different French football club called Lorient. No, it's not. It's Leyton Orient. We all know it's Leyton Orient. Don't be silly. And now I've hurt my throat doing the comments nerd voice. I need to crack open my water. I don't drink while I'm streaming. I'm not streaming. I don't drink during a video normally. I had to do the voice and it made my throat hurt. And I'm just generally cross about the situation. I've never been so cross having qualified for the Champions League. Oh, I'm on a roller coaster of emotions here. I don't know whether to be happy or sad or angry or confused. I think I'm all of the above. I'm not going to make any substitutions. I'm just going to sit there on the bench looking confused and hope a board member comes up. Kev, are you all right? You look like you're sitting there a little bit confused. I'll level with you, Mr. Board Member. I am a little bit confused. Where on earth is my money for qualifying for the Champions League? I'd like to sign that guy out there who's brilliant. You know, the guy who scored the goals to get us here. Because at the moment, we're having to go into the Champions League without our main striker. Seems dumb, doesn't it? When you put it like that, Kev, we'll go and buy him right away. That's what should be happening. We're winning now, which is nice. There is Omar, look, potentially in his final game, his final home game for Tour, before we go off and see him do wonders all across Europe. I don't know. Does he go back to Lyon? Do they sell him? Who knows where Afkir Omar's career goes if he doesn't stay here at Tour? I can tell you where it goes if he's here. He ends up our all-time record goal scorer within a few years. He ends up playing in the Champions League. We end up winning the league eventually. Let's get Gabriel Tutu on, who, by the way, in amongst all that, did score a goal in the league after 2 years of waiting and is now only 2 goals away from being our all-time record goal scorer, breaking Big Fat Dennis's record. So all eyes on Gabriel Tutu, because realistically, he's definitely the kind of player who shouldn't be coming anywhere near the Champions League with us. I'm here stressing about the fact that we can't sign Omar with our £0 budget, but we're going into the Champions League with Deleste and Tutu still as regular substitutes for us because we have no squad depth. I probably should be getting more stressed about the fact we've got absolutely 0 budget and 0 squad depth. And we really, imagine going to Barcelona and bringing Tutu on with 70 minutes to go. They're just going to laugh at us. Oh, we're representing the 5th best league in Europe here. we should be able to field a better reserve option than Gabriel Tutu. Right. Oh dear, we very nearly conceded a goal at the death there, but I think we are about to hold on. Fowry in midfield again. We were supposed to be watching him, weren't we? I've kind of got distracted because I'm so upset. Omar trying to get into the area. He didn't look like a £5 million striker there, did he? He hasn't really done anything today. Fowry, another beautiful pass, and there's Omar with the finish. He doesn't need to do anything for most of the match because every now and again he'll just score a goal. It didn't count. It doesn't matter. It's a lovely pass from Fowry, though. Matt Seamer to Thomas. Looks like Thomas is wearing the captain's armband today. I don't remember making that decision, but obviously at some point past Kev did. And now we are charging into the area again. 2-2 with the cross, and Guema looking to head it goalwards, but I think that's probably going to be the final highlight of the match. We should be wrapping this up with a victory. We don't need to see the disallowed goal again. And apparently we are still getting another highlight. And it's Big Willie to Vaquero. And now Big Willie charging forward as a right back for the final 20 minutes or so of this game. It's where we played him last year to absolutely no positive effect. He's been much better this year playing as the centre back, and is now worth nearly £20 million as a result of it. That's how good Big Willie is. I've still none the wiser about what I'm supposed to do here, boys and girls. We have confirmed Nguema as a loan for next year, so that's definitely happening. We've got at least one of our boys sorted. I have no idea what to do with the Fowry, Big Willie, Omar situation. I assume the video to this point has made that quite clear. Just the one change for the final game of the season, then Cisse has recovered from his injury, so comes back in at left back. Frey has now picked up an injury, but has to start because Mutombo, who would be our backup right back, has picked up a worse injury, and Kambedi, our normal right back, is still out for the next couple of months with his broken leg. So Frey is going to have to play through his splinters. Bruised ankle. I mean, it's not even injury. I bruise my ankle getting out of bed some mornings if I clonk it on the bedside table at the wrong angle. Now you're trying to imagine how you can hit your ankle on a bedside table getting out of bed, aren't you? Maybe I didn't mean the bedside table. Maybe I meant the suitcase stood at the end of my bed that I still haven't put away, but I didn't want to sound like a slob. Let's assume it's bedside table. Right, let's do a football, please. Final day of the season. We want to show off, show what we can do, remind Omar why he wants to be here. More than anything, we'd like him to grab the goals he needs to secure the golden boot, because at the moment, last time I checked, he was level on goals. So we'd like a hat-trick from Omar today. That'd get him to 30 league goals and just about confirm him as top scorer in Ligue 1. Also can be confirmed today, of course, is the final Champions League qualification spot. At the moment, Marseille in pole position, 3 points and 4 goals ahead of Lyon. So there needs to be quite a swing between those two for Lyon to make it into the Champions League. To me, it's the sweetest thing that could happen that Lyon loan us their 2 wonder kid strikers, because they've got no room for them in their team. We use those strikers to score nearly 50 goals between them and qualify for the Champions League ahead of Lyon, and then put the cherry on top that delicious cake by activating the optional release, the optional future fees on both of them, signing them permanently. And in one season, in one transfer window, one panic signing of a couple of loanee strikers, take Lyon's place as one of the big 4 in French football. To me, that's just perfect. Because if you go back to the transfer window and watch it again about how we signed Omar and Millet, it was very much, we have been looking for a striker all summer, we can't find one. Let's just sign the 2 best youngsters available for loan on a complete whim without them being properly scouted, just because we need bodies. I think bodies through the door was how I described them. First day of the season, we played Gabriel Tutu up front, who at that point hadn't scored for over a year because we didn't know if either of the loanees were going to be any good because we hadn't scouted them. That's how much we've lucked out with these 2 young strikers. But we're a Champions League club now, so no luck involved. Kev's a genius. That's how history will see it. I plucked these 2 young strikers from obscurity and turned them into stars. History rewards the victor. And we're the victor in this situation. Although Lyon have still got a chance. But like I say, they need that big swing, both in terms of results and goals. Frey, charging down the right-hand side, finds Millet with the cross. Playing him on the left-hand side has been a big difference maker in the second half of this season, because he's a bigger option than Omar. It gives us more of a physical presence up front that Omar doesn't give us. And because he drifts in from that left-hand side as the inside forward, he's there to get on the end of crosses. As a big 6'2" lad, it's a difference maker. It's probably something we should have been doing earlier on in the season. It took Millet probably half a season to convince me that he should be in this team. And now he is in, and he's great. Big Willie playing it to Thomas, and now Nguema. I still love the way he comes in field like that. And there is Fowry. I thought he was going to do one of his audacious specials, bursting out of midfield. But unfortunately, it hits the crossbar and the highlight peters out. Have we confirmed a third place finish, by the way? I haven't looked at that part of the league table. I've looked at what's going on above us and below us. I haven't actually looked if anyone can catch us. I know we can't catch Monaco. There was a 10-point gap between us, and that was brilliant from Omar, although that's terrible from Nguema. He's going to be the highest paid player at the club next year unless we sign Omar. It looks like, as it stands right now, we can't be caught for third place, which is awesome. Third best team in France. I mean, it's probably going to take as long as we've spent on the save so far to become the best team in France when we've got Paris Saint Germain and Monaco ahead of us. But all we can do is keep plugging away. We didn't expect to be in the Champions League this quickly, yet here we are. A Champions League club. Big Willie. I like the way he just takes his time to pick his pass. He's never rushed into anything. You often see him just sort of stood there with the ball at his feet, waiting for an option to present itself. I don't like the idea of any strikers starting to press him, but no one ever seems to. Omar, I tell you what, has started missing chances. I wonder if this is FM telling me we don't need him. We'll be all right with Millet up front, who's probably outscored him in the last couple of months of the season. Because Omar just, I don't know. Maybe it's because we've upset him by not offering him the money that he wanted. Maybe he wants the security of I don't know. Maybe he doesn't want to be here. Who knows what he wants? I think his plan has kind of been scuppered, because I think his plan was come here, score a load of goals, go back to Lyon, play for them in the Champions League next year. And he's scored so many goals that plan has been scuppered, and he's now got to come here permanently if he wants that Champions League football, or leave Lyon, or go back and waste another year dragging a team into the Champions League, even though there's no guarantees that he gets a spot in the team there. And there's Millet demonstrating exactly what I was talking about before. That big physical presence at the far post. It's a 14th goal of the season for him now. I genuinely think if we were just playing in Ligue 1 again next year, having him as our striker, we would be fine. But we need more than one striker to go into the Champions League with. And I can't have Tutu as my backup striker as a Champions League club for all the reasons we all already know. And as there's not really any more money knocking around the club, if we don't get Omar, what on earth are we going to do? We have to look down into the youth team again and see what we can find. Vaquero bursting out of midfield, and now Millet with the lunging slide tackle. I mean, it's not the typical way to get on the end of a through ball, but he did make connection, albeit not a particularly good one, and it ended up back with the goalkeeper. Frey now, who has, I mean, I was just about to sing his praises. We'll hold fire on that for a minute. But he started the season very much as our backup right back. And I know Kumbedi got injured, but even before then, he'd forced Kumbedi over to play left back. And I really like Frey. He's an example of a great free transfer you can pick up. Now we're a little bit more established, although obviously to be able to do that, we need spare wage budget, and we have none. So I don't think we're going to do a lot of transfers in tomorrow's transfer video, because we're already over our wage budget. We've got no transfer budget to spend. The only way we do a lot of business is if we sell. I mean, I guess we could sell Fowry and Big Willie and just have a £50 million cash injection, of which we'd only have about 15 million to spend. But if we spent 5 million on Omar, loaned those two boys back so they didn't need replacing, which is easier said than done at this level, and then push the rest of that budget towards wages to bring in more free transfers of the quality of Matsima, Big Willie, Frey. I mean, that entire back four were all free transfers. Then that could be an interesting direction to go for the summer. But like I say, if you're selling players for 20, 25 million, like Big Willie, like Fowry, I do think teams are signing them with a view to playing them and not loaning them straight back. So you then get into the territory of having to replace them. Can you tell from this video, I don't really know what to do, and I have no idea what's happening next. Usually when I'm making a YouTube series, I have a pretty good idea of the shape of a season, what's likely to happen in a transfer window, how we're likely to get on next year. I've played enough Football Manager over the years to vaguely know what to expect and be able to plan videos and whatnot accordingly. And it's just giving us another example of him being a big boy. Love it. I have no idea how the next 3 episodes are going to go. I guess that's quite exciting and really anxiety-inducing. 2-0, though, against a mid-table Mets team. We're going to finish only 7 points behind Monaco, which is awesome. They are our parent club. Surely at some point that relationship has to end. We didn't actually get any loans from them this season, and I imagine we're now at the point where any loans we might get probably don't get in our team, although he says that, knowing full well we got 2 youngsters off Lyon last summer who were great. So I guess there are young players stuck within these bigger, more established teams that just are waiting for an opportunity, and we might be able to throw an opportunity their way and turn them into superstars. We are the star makers. And with our limitation of signing French-only players, it is more important for us to go and hunt for these young French players lurking around in the bigger clubs. I think, by the way, on the French-only thing, I think I'm going to allow myself one exception to it, and the exception being I can sign players from French clubs. I think that's okay. So, like, if Paris Saint Germain have, I don't know, German defender who's been there a couple of years, hasn't got his French citizenship because he doesn't need it, but he's already playing in France. I think if players are based in France, is what I'm getting at, that should be okay too. So it's going to be okay too. I'm not asking. I'm telling you that's okay from now on. So French players who are homegrown in France, who are French, either as main or second nationality, or are currently based in France. So basically they play for a French club already. Any of those players, fair game. I still really want to sign me some nice cheap Eastern Europeans, but I guess we've got no money to do that this summer anyway, so it's not an issue this year. Super duper. Right, and Guayman, nice interception for him. Omar turning on the halfway line and running. I'm very disappointed he's not scored today, because I don't think he'll be finishing as the top scorer as a result of it, which, I don't know, it might drop his wage demands a little bit, which might be handy, although at the moment, wages aren't really the stumbling block. We need to find a transfer fee for him. Thomas, who is an unsung hero for this season, by the way, playing as that holding midfield player. He has been absolutely fantastic all season long. Never let us down. Just Mr. Consistency, keeping things together. The difference, I know we talk a lot about the difference the strikers have made, but Omar hasn't scored that many more goals than Double Steve did last year. We basically replaced Double Steve with an improvement, but not a huge relegation zone to Champions League level improvement. The improvement has come from the defence and defensive midfield. Bringing Thomas in to sit in front of the defenders and establishing Matt Seamer and Big Willie as our centre-back partnership, and obviously Prevo in goal, that's where the huge difference of being the third worst team to the third best team, that's where that difference has come from, not from the attackers. Millet is on a hat-trick here, and, I mean, he's made a nuisance of himself in there, but it does end up going behind, I think, for a corner, and we are going to get Millet off here to give Tutu the opportunity to break the record, because if the opportunity presents itself this summer, I think we do sell Tutu. If someone's daft enough to make an offer, hold on, we're not going to bring Deleste on here, we're going to bring on Ben Amara. Remember him? He's actually playing a football match for us. Who'd have thought? We've also got Merlin coming on at left back, which that might be his future. He's played in a lot of positions for us this year. We started him on the left wing. He's definitely never going to play there for us again. He was good deputising for Fowry in midfield, but if Fowry stays, he's not getting in there ahead of Fowry and Vaquero. But a left back in the mould of Frey, where he's really a winger that can play fullback, that's my kind of fullback. That'll do for changes for today. So there might be future for him playing in that role. But let's have a couple of goals for Gabriel Tutu. If Omar's not going to become top scorer, at least let Tutu become our all-time top scorer We've seen goals come from this inside forward position on the left already today. It's obviously a weakness at Metz. Let's let 2-2 exploit it even further. Big Willie playing it right back again, charging forward, looking for that far post where 2-2 is lurking. If Millet is still on the pitch, he probably scores and gets his hat-trick there. As it is, 2-2 has a header pushed over the bar, and Merlin with the corner, and Matt Siemens there to make it 3-0. We are good at football. This team might never play together again for all the reasons we've outlined over the last half an hour or so of me getting very confused and waffling on. But goodness me, has this team been a joy to behold in the second half of this season. We have got it right, and we are playing well, and tomorrow's job is all about, it's not about transfers in or out or any of that nonsense. It's about trying to get to the point where we can keep this team together next year and give them a chance to play in the Champions League together, because I think this team might do okay. It's not going to win it, but it might finish third in its group and do well in the Europa League. Who knows? But we are a Champions League team. Hopefully tomorrow's episode starts with us being given a secret £10 million budget that the game just forgot to tell me about. That's what we're hoping for. Why do I disable the editors on my saves? Urgh. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.